Hey guys, coming at you with an overlanding equipment video. This is a Joolca shower, and these things, and actually the whole Joolca system, is pretty damn awesome. So today, this is going to be the ultimate Joolca upgrade video. And so what I got here, I got the 10 milliamp battery, the 10 amp hour battery. There we go. And so this right here is the cable that has like for the 12 volt plug, and you know, it actually broke super easy. Like, I was coming back from its first use, and the plug just kind of went and hit the road, and then it like broke. And I was like, oh, well, that broke really easy. So it wound up not being that big a deal because I knew I was going to be doing something like this eventually anyways. So, but I got it. So this is off eBay. These Amperetime. These batteries seem to be really top notch. I guess I'll find out, but I'm going to be getting one of these giant, these in the giant form, like the 24 volt. Ooh, I think the 24 volt is at 200 amps. I think the 12 volt you can get at 300 amp hours. But yeah, I think the 24 is only 200 amp hours. But anyway, so I'll be getting one of those eventually. This is a little small guy through Amazon, great price. I don't know, it's maybe 30 bucks or 35 bucks, I don't know, something like that. So that's important, because so that right there goes for the pump, and boom, just modified that, you know, and then I got my connections here, and got all that all done nice and neat. Now in here, this is where the real magic happens. So the one unfortunate thing about this Joolca system is that if you're pumping the water from a tank, a bucket, any, like whatever like you brought with you, this system has a downfall. And the downfall is when you click the water off, because you know you're pumping it from your own water supply that you brought with you, so it's obviously going to be limited. So you get wet, you turn that off, you lather up. The problem comes in when you turn it back on. The system, it's been probably 6 or 7 months when I used it last, which was also the first time, and it was for like a 2-day period. And I think it comes in real hot, is what, if I remember correctly, that's what happened. It comes in real hot, and then it takes a minute for it to get to the temperature that you have it set at. It's just not smooth operating. And it has something to do with you turning the water supply off and then turning it back on. So what other people have done, one thing that I always do in life, I take other people's ideas and I just elevate it to another level. So this is what I did here. So I got this little guy here, and so as you can see, normal. So when you're taking a shower, you have it all going, and boom, it just goes up through there, and you're all good. But then when you want to turn the water off to soap up and all that stuff, instead of turning it off here, you just leave that alone, and you come down here, and boop, nice and simple. And what that does is it redirects it. So I just had this piece that I used because this fits a garden hose. So this is just obviously for demonstration purposes, but it'll be something where I figure out how long of a hose I need, and I'll go just buy a whatever hose, and that. So this goes back to the tank, and what it does is it makes a recirculating system. So what happens is the pump and the whole Joolca system, it will have nice, smooth, hot water and not mess around. Also, too, And now this all obviously depends on how long it's circulating for, how big your water tank is. But this will get more efficient the longer it goes, because this hot water is going to be going back to the tank and making that cold water warmer. Now then when it goes through the Joolca system to heat it up, then it's heating up water that's not as cold. So it's going to use less fuel and all that. So, but yeah, I was kind of concerned when I was buying this stuff, because this is all just, did all this in my head, and I'm like, all right, I'll just, like anything else in life, I just figure out how to make it work. And this, one thing I was worried about was being able to have this in the right spot, and then also making it like ergonomically functional and smooth and no hassle. Like you don't have to hold stuff with two hands and fiddle with it. Like people go and they've made some like their own little diverter thing, like with a few of these, but then you got to go and you got to turn this one off and you got to turn that one on. And I'm like, okay, I get what they're trying to do, but that's just a bunch of nonsense. And so look, you just grab this with one finger, boop. Because so I have, and this just all worked out. I had this lying around, so I drilled up my hole a little bit bigger, and it winds up being just the right height to hold this right. So this little guy supports some weight right here. This little clip, this supports some weight up on this thing, and then even so, the hose, I wound up cutting out 10.5 inches on the hose, because I didn't want to have all the extra up here, and I did it a little bit tight. So at this point, and up at that point, it all holds a little bit of weight everywhere. Because this is, I made this just a tad bit short, so it pulled up a little bit. So all the weight just isn't on this bottom piece. And then also with this up here, this keeps this in a position to where it doesn't really move around on you. And that was one of the functional things that was really important to me, is to just to be able to turn that nicely back and forth, nice and smooth, and to have the most enjoyable shower ever. So yeah, I can't wait to use this. My vehicle's getting really close to, like once I get my dash done here pretty soon, I'll be able to go out on weekend trips whenever I want. But then it's going to take, like that battery that I'm going to get, that darn thing is like $1,800 or $1,900. It's real expensive. And then I need to make a 50-gallon fuel tank and a 50-gallon water tank. Once those three things get made and bought, or two made, one bought, then at that point, I'll be able to go out for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, kind of whatever I want. So, but yeah, real close to be going on weekend trips whenever. All right, guys, catch you later.